Hi, Mr. Osborne, back again. Welcome to session 5. Today we're going to really look to accumulate what we've been learning and look at some worded problems. Before we do that, I've got a great book I just want to share with you. It's called, it's a bit sunny, it's called Kind. Absolutely fantastic book. My head teacher read it out in assembly. Actually, we've done a Zoom meeting assembly. It's all about being kind. Highly recommend this book. I read it to my daughter. She absolutely loved it. Okay, anyway, that's enough about me. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a really good week. Hope you're ready to learn. Let's get sharing the screen. Session 5. Hopefully this is the right one. Looks like it. Let's go into that. Fantastic. Right. Okay. So like I said earlier, this is place value. You'll need a pencil, paper, and ruler if you have one. Don't worry so much about a ruler. You can get by without it, but if you do, that would be fantastic. An extra little bit of message. You may wish to view sessions 1 to 4 before completing the session. So if you've not seen those sessions, have a look at those sessions before you have a go at this, because they kind of tie in the knowledge that you would need to complete these sessions. If not, you can still have a go. Okay. Today's learning, solving number and practical problems. There we go. Number problems, practical problems, worded problems, reasoning, all sorts of things to have a think about. Basically, when you get through to your SATs, these are pretty much how a lot of your learning gets represented in the SATs, and it's time to put your brain on and get yourself into gear. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at what we're going to be looking at, and these sessions we've already done, so hopefully they will help you to get through today's session. So we've already looked at how to read and write numbers to at least 10 million. We've looked at comparing and ordering numbers to at least 10 million, rounding numbers to a degree of accuracy. In our last session, we looked at using negative numbers in the context. So today's session is going to be all about taking little elements of those and putting them into some practical problems for you to solve. Okay, so it should be less of Mr. Osborne today and more of you. Okay, let's start with our warm-up as we always do. Got a new number here today, and I'm going to ask you to find me 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000 less. I usually give you a minute and a bit. I reckon you could be doing this in under a minute today. Pause the video, off you go, have a go, come back, and then we'll have a look at them together. Okay, thanks for coming back. Let's have a look. So 1 less than 295,333 would give us 295,332. 10 less would give us 295,523. 100 less would give us 295,433. 1,000 less, 294,533. 10,000 less, 284,543. And then finally, 100,000 less than 295,533 is 100. And I've made a mistake there. That should be 185,533. I'm spotting my own mistake. Well done, Mr. Osborne. Okay, fantastic. Let's move on. Okay, so I might just need to move my video a little bit. It's in the way of the question. Right, getting straight into the work today. Mr. Osborne is flying around the world. He has already flown 4,872,645 miles. What is the value of 2 in this number? I've put down the bottom, place value grid. You can use that if you need to. Have a look. Write 4,872,645 in words. Okay, have a go at this yourself, and then we'll have a quick look at it together. I'm sure if you've completed the other sessions, then you will be fine in completing this. Okay, so let's have a look at this together. What is the value of 2 in this number? The value of 2, I'm going to look. I've got my units, my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands. Okay, and by that I mean I have 2,000. Okay, so what is the value of 2 in this number? It is 2,000. Write 4,872,645 in words. If you're doing this, I'm really going to be checking your commas, that you've got your commas in the right place so it makes sense when saying it aloud. Here we go. Nice animation to take us through that. We have 4,872,645. Quite straightforward. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Mr. Osborne has now finished flying around the world. In total, he flew 9,930,000 meters. Okay, so we've kind of flipped the problem here. So rather than giving you the digits, this time it's the written words. Okay, I've got to say one thing: reading. Make sure you're reading and you're practicing reading in year 6, please. Okay, because when it comes to maths and you've got to read these questions, you need to be able to read them quickly and efficiently. Okay, so I just wanted to add that reading is really important. Okay, Mr. Osborne has now finished flying around the world. In total, he flew 9,930,000 meters. Write this amount as a number. Okay, have a go at these questions. We have 2 9s in this number. What are the place values of these numbers? Pause it, back in 2 minutes. Okay, back again. Okay, so we know what the question is. It says write this amount as a number. You should have 9,930,000. Okay, we have got no numbers or digits in our thousands column, hundreds, tens, or units. So we need to make sure we're getting our place value zeros in the right place, placeholders. We have 2 9s in this number. What are the place values of these numbers? Well, once you've written the number out, that's going to massively help you. The first one we're looking at is 900,000, and the second 9 is 9 million. Fantastic. Have a look. Hopefully you've got that right. Give yourself a tap on the back. Okay. Okay, moving on. Put a digit in the missing space below to make this sentence correct. Okay, so we are saying here that 648,667 is greater than this number that we've got a digit missing. Okay, so we've got 640 something, 667. So have a go at this, okay, and then we'll have a look through it together. Okay, so Mr. Osborne, he's opted for a 3 here. Okay, so what we're saying is this number 648,000 is larger. Remember what I said before about the crocodiles eating the larger number. Okay, the 648,667 needs to be larger than this number. So in this column, which is our thousands column, we know that the number that we place in that thousands column has got to be below 8 to make this statement true. Okay, is there more than one option? Okay, you may be glad if you thought, oh, it's only 3. There are more options. Okay, you could have anything all the way up to 7. Okay, to make that statement correct. Okay, I'm going to hand over to you. Have a go at this one. Okay, slightly more of a challenge because we have 2 numbers that are missing. Okay, pause the video, come back in a few minutes after you've had a go. Again, there's definitely going to be more than one way of completing this. Okay, quick drink. Okay. Hopefully you're patting yourself on the back after we've gone through this. Is there more than one option? Of course there is. Okay, let's have a look. So Mr. Osborne opted for a 3. So 2,633,667 would be a lower number because we already have 2,633,000. So when you're looking in your thousands column there, I need to make sure that the number on the left hand side is going to be lower than the number on the right hand side. Okay, and here is just a little explanation for you to have a look. So missing one digit, any digit from 0 to 3 when, okay, 3, the second digit must be a 7 or greater. Missing 2, so the second one, when digit is a 1 or 2, any digit from 0 to 9 will work. Okay, but when first digit is a 3, the second digit must be 7 or greater. Okay, you might want to pause that and just have a look through. Okay, but there you go. Any of those numbers, okay, would have worked. Okay, let's move on. So rounding to the nearest 100,000. Okay, you may remember from sessions before that when rounding, we have our star number. That is the number you are going to round to. And then we have a decider number, which we need to check, because if it's 5 and above, we round up. If it's 4 and below, then we would be rounding down. Let's have a quick look at this number. We're rounding to the nearest 100,000. So our star number will be in the 100,000s column. And in our 10,000s column is our decider. So I'm going to have a look in that column. I'm looking, okay, and I'm looking, and I can see it is definitely below 5. Therefore, okay, we need to round down. Okay, so 3,222,426 rounds down to 3,200,000. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now, before I carry on, those eagle-eyed of you might notice Mr. Osborne's changed his shirt. Well, actually, I can tell you what happened is the laptop decided to stop recording, and I carried on and didn't realize until the end of the day. So I'm back, but with a different shirt on. So let's have a look at this. Have a go round in this number, round to the nearest 10, round to the nearest 100,000, 10,000, then 100,000. Pause the video, have a go, come back in a couple of minutes, and then we will look through this together. Okay, so hopefully you're back after a few minutes and raring to go, and you'll be giving yourself a pat on the back after getting the right answer. So have a go around with this number. We know this number is 285,333. If I was rounding it to the nearest 10, I'm going to have my star number as a 3, and then my decider number is a 3. So therefore, I'd be looking to round down, giving me 285,530. Hopefully you've got that right. Rounding to the nearest 100, I'm looking at my star number being a 5, and again my decider is a 3. So I know again I round down, give me the answer of 285,500. Now moving up into the thousands, our star number is a 5, and our decider number is a 5 as well. So this time we know the rule that if it's 5 and above, we round up, giving us 286,000. Don't forget those 0 placeholders there. And now moving on to the 10,000s, I'm going to look at my star number, which is an 8, my decider number, which is 5 again, and again, same process. So I know it's 5 and above, so I am going to round up, give me an answer of 290,000. And then finally, to the nearest 100,000, I'm looking at my star number being a 2 in the 200,000s column, and my decider number is an 8. Sorry, I can see it then. Decider number is an 8, so therefore I know I'm going to round up and give me a nice round 300,000. Hope you got that all right there. If not, go back, have another go. Something like that you can easily practice rounding. Get a parent, brother or sister just to write you some numbers out and practice that rounding from 10 all the way up to 100 and 1,000. Okay, let's move on. So time for some questions. Here we go. Peter thinks of a number and round. It is shown in the table below. Peter's numbers are 5,750 to the nearest 10. To the nearest 100, he's rounded 5,700, and to the nearest 1,000, he has 6,000. Now, Peter is saying, what is the smallest and largest number Peter could have? He's talking about himself. Pause the video here, come back, and we'll have a talk through. Remember that strategy you've used all the way through in your rounding. Have a go at it. Pause the video, come back in a few minutes, and we'll look through and see what numbers Peter could have had. Okay, so hopefully you're ready. You've taken your time and had a look through. Let's have a look through the smallest number that Peter could have. So I'm going to have the number 5,750, and I'm rounding it to the nearest 10. So here we go. Let's have a look. Mr. Osborne's got the answer of 5,745. Now, if we take the 5 as our decider and the 4 as our star number there, we know that this number here, the 5, is going to make our star number round up, giving us the 50. So the smallest number that you could possibly have there, or Peter could have, sorry, is 5,745. Now, moving over to the hundreds column, I'd then be looking at my 4 as being my decider and my 7 as my star number. Now we know that our decider is 4 and below, so therefore we're going to round down, giving us the answer of 5,700. And then to the nearest 1,000, I'm going to move up to look into my hundreds column here for my decider, and I can see that is 5 and above. Therefore, I'm going to have to round up, and that would round up, give me 6,000. Okay, and then it's very similar process going through to the largest number as well. Okay, now hopefully you've managed to get that right, and let's move on to negative number questions. Now, negative number, we went through this in session 4, decreasing, counting back, just very quickly, because I'm sure by now you know what negative numbers look like, and increasing as we move up through the number line. Please remember 0 is a value there, and we're not to just jump and skip over 0. Okay, it'll cause us all sorts of problems if we do that. Okay, so here we go. We have, what is the difference in temperature between night and day? So during the day, the temperature is 10 degrees. At night, the temperature drops to -1. Now I'm going to take my highest value there. I'm going to have my 10 degrees. I'm going to go all the way down to 0, which I know that jump would be a jump of 10. And then from 0 to -1, then I know that is a jump of 1. Therefore, adding 10 and 1 together, we know that that difference must be, a nice animation, the difference of 11 degrees. Okay, just went through that quickly because I'm going to move you on to have a go at yourself. And I need to just move my video a bit, sorry. So here we go. We have, during the day, the temperature is 10 degrees. At night, the temperature drops to -8. What is the difference in the temperature between night and day? And then another question there. In London, the temperature was a chilly -5, but by the afternoon, the temperature had risen by 17 degrees. What is the afternoon temperature? Have a go at those questions. Pause the video, come back to me, and then we'll go through those questions together. Okay, so hopefully you are back. Nothing too troubling for you there, I don't think, as a year 6 mathematician. So what is the difference in temperature between night and day? Again, going to use the same process. I'm going to go from 10 to 0, which gives me a jump of 10, and then from 0 to -8, which gives me a jump of 8. Therefore, the difference in temperature, I love an animation, the difference in temperature, if we get that, is 8 degrees. Hopefully you got that right. Now the second question is, it is giving you the difference this time. So it says that you start on -5 and the temperature has risen by 17. So what is the afternoon temperature? Well, I know if I've got 17 and I'm going to start my -5, and the jump to 0 means I'm going to take away 5 from 17, which leaves me with 12. And then I know from 0 to 12 is a jump of 12. Okay, and that gives us a temperature of 12 degrees. So the difference should be 12. sorry, the afternoon temperature should be 12 degrees, not difference. Afternoon temperature. Okay, lovely. So let's move on to this question. A bit more of a challenging question here. Okay, Mr. T picks 2 number cards. One of the numbers is a negative and one is positive. The difference between the 2 numbers is 11. Okay, find the different pairs of numbers that could be. So all I'm asking you to do there is different pairs of numbers. Now, obviously, when we look at this together, you may have chosen some different numbers from Mr. Osborne, but as long as there is a difference of 11, then that should be fine. Mrs. P, good use of initials going on here, said that one of the cards could be 11. Is Mrs. P correct? Explain your answer. So have a think about that question. Find your cards first, have a think about that question, and make sure you get a good explanation going as to what your answer is and your reasoning. Okay, have a go at that, come back, and then we'll go through that together. Fantastic. Okay, should be back. I can't get used to these weird pauses where I don't pause. Okay, so we had the question of Mr. T picks 2 number cards. One of the number cards is a negative and one is a positive. Difference between the 2 number cards is 11. Find 2 pairs of numbers that he could pick. Now, these are 2 numbers that I've chosen. So I've chosen 10 and -1 because we know our positive 10 down to 0 would be a jump of 10. And then our jump from 0 to -1 would be 1. So therefore, that is a difference of 11. And similar to the 2 answers below. Now, there are many different answers you can have there. So just double check that you've definitely got a difference of 11. Draw yourself out a number line if you need to. Going on to the second question. So we really had to put our thinking caps on for this one. Mrs. P said that one of the cards could be 11. Is Mrs. P correct? Let's have a think. So she says one of the cards could be 11. Okay, so I would say no. And to explain my answer, I would say that Mrs. P is incorrect because 11 and 0 have a difference of 11, but 0 is not a negative number. One of the numbers has to be a negative number. Okay, hopefully you understand that, and that's straightforward. Might be worth going to ask your parents and see what they think, and maybe you could have a good old debate about whether we think Mrs. P is correct or not, but that's my thinking. Okay, straight on to see you next time. Okay, so it's been great, these 5 sessions of place value. Next video sessions are going to be about fractions, and I hope you'll join me for them. Thank you for joining me for these 5 sessions and today. Take care, Mr. Osborne.